A new season in Destiny 2 has just started, season 19, and in today's video, I'm going to give you my first impressions after playing for about 12 hours now. Now, of course, there's a lot more to come throughout the entirety of this season, so this is just my first impressions. I'll start with the seasonal model, and then I'll get into some more bigger details and some bigger issues. So, before I get into all of that, though, the first thing I want to mention is that I'm seeing a ton of negativity across social media. A lot of people are unhappy, and you rarely see this kind of on a day one. Usually day one is a pretty exciting time. There's a lot of new things to discover, etc. But we're seeing a lot of negativity out there on social media. I'll try to keep things as neutral as I possibly can in this video. I do have some negative things to say, some positive things, but the first thing I want to mention is the seasonal model. We see this tweet right here from Destiny Bulletin, and this thing needs to go. I agree with this post so much. This has just become copy and paste every season, and I think a lot of us are getting tired of it. I think that Bungie needs to be more creative with their seasonal models and trying to, at least if you're gonna, reuse some assets, at least do so in a way that doesn't just feel so repetitive at this point. Something that I'm a bit frustrated with is that, and then you've got Heist Battlegrounds, which is again reused assets. There's just a lot more recycled content, areas that we've used before, and we're getting weapons back now for the third time. We have the third version of weapons in the game, which is just kind of crazy to think about. And then the big point, and the one that really hit hard, is that there's no new exotic armor this season, and that hurt because I love exotic armor so much. I love that it changes the sandbox, the meta for PvP, PvE. I get sometimes that these things are broken and it can cause a lot of problems for Bungie, but that's it's your game to make. You gotta fix that thing. You can't just cop out and say no exotic armor, I guess, this season. Like, that's just mind blowing to me that that could even be approved for a season. I would have rather almost just had a season extension at that point, because it's just like, I can't even believe that this is being shipped without exotic armor. And I say it calmly, but like inside, and I feel like a lot of us who are Destiny players who've played for veteran players and been playing since the beginning, it's kind of crazy to think about, right? No new exotic armor for the launch of a season at all. And next we're going to talk about is the comp rework. I actually have to say some neutral stuff about this, right? It's not bad. It's not bad. I actually had fun in comp. I played comp. I got stomped sometimes. I still wasn't too salty about it. The meta can be a bit bad at times or questionable. And of course, as you get up to those higher ranks, you're going to see more people abusing the meta even more to maintain those high ranks. But right now, there's not that many people grinding it, I think, because everyone got the PSA from myself and Bungie that the weapon is bugged. The rose is not dropping, so probably don't need to play that right now unless you need the ego boost of getting Ascendant, and or if you just are a sadist and actually love PvP, I guess, you can grind that. So those are my opinions about comp. That's kind of the neutral stuff. Now I'm going to push into the positives that I could gather. There were some good weapons that came out with this. Obviously, I have an arsenal of god rolls of almost every gun at this point, so I don't need nearly as many of them, but there were some good weapons out there and some unique rolls and some, meta weapons and stuff, like the Trials hand cannon looks really good, Rose, etc. And so I do think that some of those weapons will be the carrot on the stick for the season and hopefully carry the season into Lightfall. But I'm sure people will be pretty salty by the time we get to that last month before Lightfall. I do think that the seasonal story, with Rasputin and stuff, that looks like it's going to shape up to be an interesting one. Um, I like the stories. I like following the stories in Destiny, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. And then the last bit is we haven't actually played the dungeon yet, so we have to first reserve our judgments for judging the whole season until, of course, we've played everything that's meant to be available the whole season. I think that's really important. But from what we can gather from, the seasonal artifact mods, from the activity, and everything that we've gotten so far, it's not looking as good as we have seen in the past. I think that this is shaping up to be a salty season from the Destiny community at the very least. I think a lot of people are going to be really salty as they play throughout the season. And I hope that there's some redeemable qualities like the exotic that's coming out and the dungeon and stuff like that. But only time will tell. We don't know at this point in time. We have to play the season out. So my initial impressions are uh, not good. They're average at best from this season. So if you're on the fence about buying this, season or playing right now, or if you're just going to wait till Lightfall. You might just want to wait till Lightfall if you're in that boat perhaps, but I'm going to grind this season. I'm going to have some fun with the stuff that's made available and just take it easy and not grind nearly as hard as I have in the past for certain seasons. And I do see the negativity out there. I do see people posting their opinions, and people don't mean to be overtly negative. They're frustrated by certain elements of the game. We've got, I've seen Glad's posts talking about this stuff. I've seen Dado talking about it on Twitter, etc. And they have their own ideas and opinions, and we'll see what happens throughout the season if people's opinions change. But let me know your thoughts about day one of the new season down below, and rate the season out of 10 after your first day, and we'll see if it lives to be that by the end of the season. And that's a wrap on this one. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed. Smash the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Later.